Before we calculate window grades or other cumulative grades or totals, it's useful to check that assessments have been properly associated with windows, and if we weight assessments by category of assessment, we also need to check that each assessment has been associated with the correct category. Looking at this window here, you immediately notice that window 1 test 4 seems to be missing. The best way to check for issues like this and to check associations is to go to the Manage menu and scroll down to Organize Grade Center. If you scroll in Organize Grade Center, you'll notice that it's divided using subheadings. One subheading is Show and All, and these are the columns which are always visible. Another subheading is Window 1. To see what's in Window 1, we can click on the plus and Window 1 will expand. And we'll see right now that Window 1 Test 4 is not in Window 1 right now, which means it hasn't been associated with Window 1. And you may have noticed, if you're very observant, that Window 1 Test 4 is in the No Grading Period section. Of course, that may not have been expanded, so sometimes you'll need to expand other sections to see what's there. So, having found Window 1 Test 4, we notice that it's not associated with a grading period. So we need to associate it with grading period Window 1. Doing this is very simple. We click on the shaded rectangle to the left and we drag Window 1 Test 4 upward, and it will reappear again when we get to Window 1. We're going to drag it into the correct position between Test 3 and Test 5, and when I release the mouse, if you watch the label No Grading Period in the column Grading Period for Window 1 Test 4, when I release the mouse, this label will change to Window 1. So now Window 1 Test 4 is properly associated with Window 1. However, there's another issue, and this issue is that there's no category for this. Now we know by the name that it's a test, but when we enter this, we may have forgotten to choose a category. And this is important if we wish to weight grades by category of assessment. We can't change this in this window. So to change this, we're going to have to leave this window. We'll click Submit and go back to Grade Center. Now we can see Window 1 Test 4 in its proper place with the other assessments from Window 1, but we do need to change the category of assessment or assign it the correct category of assessment. To do this, we'll click on the arrows in the title bar and scroll down to Modify Column. So we get the same window we got originally when we added the column. We'll scroll down here and we'll notice that there is no category assigned to this assessment. We know from the title that it's a test, so we'll scroll down on this pull-down menu and choose Test. And that's it. That's fixed the problem. So we'll now submit, say OK, and let's just go back and look in the Manage menu, go to Organize Grade Center, and we'll notice here, if we look back at Window 1, expanding Window 1, that Window 1 Test 4 is now correctly associated with Window 1, and it's being correctly identified as being in the test category. So that's it. Problem solved.